In August of 2024, Marion Lovett passed away shortly after getting a diagnosis of breast cancer.
Her daughter is now campaigning for improvement in breast cancer screening. We're now joined by Martha Lovett. Cullen, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. I suppose when it comes to something like breast cancer, there's been loads of education, loads of screening, loads of, I suppose, a drive for women to know what to look out for over the years. But with your mother, she basically fell between the cracks when it came to this. Can you tell us your story?
Yeah, so my mum never had any long-term health issues. She got her breast checks regularly when she turned 50 and never had any problems. And then after COVID in 2022, she went for her regular mammogram, came back clear, great news, you know, it's a relief to hear that. And then just, I think under a year later, she felt like there was maybe a bit of a lump or that something was off. So she went to see her GP to investigate, and she was kind of told, you know, maybe you should just wait another year. You have your next breast check next year, so you might as well just hang on. And she insisted on getting additional screening because she knew something was off. And when she got the additional tests, it turned out that there was a bit of a shadow there, and it was also the first time she was told that she had dense breast tissue, which was something she had never heard of before. And a few months after that, you know, she was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, just a year after getting the all clear. So it was quite a shock, and it kind of came out of nowhere. And going from a clear mammogram to having a terminal illness is just, yeah, something you can't really put words to.
And what was her prognosis like when she did eventually get the diagnosis? Were you hopeful that the cancer could be treated?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were under the impression we would have maybe 5 to 6 years, which is still very hard to hear. Especially when, you know, your mum is fit, healthy, you know, there's nothing that would have indicated there would have been any reason she would pass away prematurely. But yeah, we had a plan that it would be at least a few years. We'd be lucky to have that. But she only fought her illness for less than a year before she passed away.
I suppose when you have metastatic breast cancer and it is diagnosed so late and it's so aggressive, that's the issue, because early detection is key.
Yes.
And it does come to breast cancer. Now, when we're speaking about mammograms now, so I think it's important to do that. I know there's been massive pushes to decrease the age of screening for women, because as we know, more and more younger women are getting breast cancer now. But I suppose apart from a mammogram, you know how to self-check, but there are some shortfalls in it. It is an excellent screening programme, but for some people with dense breasts, and that's what the important issue that you're here to highlight, it is not as effective. So tell us about that and what that means.
So when my mum was told that she had very dense breast tissue, she didn't know what that was. And the more she looked into it, the more she found out that dense breast tissue can mask tumours or cancers on mammograms, because dense breast tissue appears as white on a mammogram the same way a tumour would. It's not information that is given out to women in Ireland. It's not part of the screening programme. And yeah, the more she looked into it, the more alarmed she was at the fact that 43% of the screening population in Ireland will have dense breasts, and 50% of cancers in women with dense breasts can be missed because of this masking effect, which was really shocking to hear. And yeah, it's not something to be alarmed about having dense breast tissue, but it's something that can only be found on a mammogram. It is a radiological finding, it's a visual finding. And yeah, we think that if my mum had been told she had dense breasts when she started getting her mammograms, she would have been aware of that.
Or she might have got an ultrasound or something like that.
Exactly, which is much more effective for women with dense breasts.
I suppose it does depend on who your primary care practitioner as well, to even for them to have the knowledge of that. Because I know years ago I had found a lump, but I was told my GP told me you have dense breasts, so an ultrasound is the way to go. Lucky in that respect, but not everybody. As you said, like half the female population will almost have this.
Yes, absolutely, which is a very high statistic. But it is definitely about the information being out there, because it's not, you know, there haven't been any public awareness campaigns or anything about it as an issue. In America and in parts of Europe as well, women, like these countries, are required to tell women if they have dense breasts, and if you're told you have dense breasts when you start getting screened, you are brought back for additional screening just to make sure that there's nothing there or that they haven't missed anything. And yeah, my mum was very confused or just kind of frustrated as to why it's not done here.
Yeah, I hadn't heard this term dense breasts before. Had you heard it? Had your mum heard it actually before?
Never.
Okay.
We were never aware of what it was. But yeah, upon doing research, we came across a woman called Siobhan Freeney, who has been campaigning for about 10 years now, who's done amazing work around it. She had a similar situation to my mum, but pulled through her treatment, luckily. And she's a huge advocate for just awareness around it and spreading the word.
How far have you gone in your campaign so far? Are people listening to you?
Yeah, they are. So I launched a petition to mandate breast density reporting in Ireland for women just about, I think, 3 weeks ago, and it's gotten a huge response. We already have 7,000 or over 7,000 signatures, and women have reached out to me with similar stories to my mum's, or girls who have lost their mums to similar reasons, and it's just heartbreaking really to see how common it is and how much it could change stories if it was information that was given out.
And it's something that they are looking at doing now. I know we have a statement in from the department that they are going to look at the evidence for that, and it may be included in future, I suppose, documentation when it comes to breast check, which is very, very helpful.
It would be amazing. Yeah, that is what we want, just to have the information out there, because I think it's information we're entitled to about our own bodies, the same way you would be told if you had high blood pressure or high cholesterol. You know, you'd be aware of that and the risk factors, and you keep an eye out for it and look after yourself in that way. So I think if women were told that they had dense breasts and were aware of the additional screening processes they might need, it could just make such a huge difference. Absolutely. Like it would have to my mum.
Yeah.